Alright, it's time for another Platinum Nautilus game. And by the length of it, it's going to be quite a big one. Which one? Yes, but I will have to tell you, this one's from January. It's been sitting in my replays folder for quite a bit. That's why the name is Amy instead of Mary Cohn. So, it doesn't matter. The only change that had occurred here was the Spirit Stone AoE change. So, I think my runes and masteries: attack speed red, armor yellow, magic resistance blue, scaling, and movement speed quints. And masteries were likely 0, 21, 9. Obviously taking the movement speed on the utility tree. And the mana, of course. And the spell, yes, it was 2 mana and then like the summoner spell reduction and obviously the buff thing. Anyways, as you can see, first gank goes off rather smoothly. Go in, just smash Shen's face in. Hopefully Riven, dealing more damage. But this shit pretty much is in lockdown. He tries to escape, but of course he gets hooked back up and I pick up the kill. One of the things about Nautilus, of course, that everybody already knows is that his ganking is stupid strong. If he grabs somebody with his CC, he's gonna fucking put some hurt on them. You know, if the Katarina didn't back off, she could have probably killed her and dealt some massive damage, especially if she had Ignite, and LeBlanc had no more mana. However, I go back in the mid lane, grab LeBlanc again, CC Locker, and Katarina comes in and picks up the kill. I picked Nautilus on purpose this game. I saw my team had, like a moderate amount of CC, and the enemy team had probably some of the most slippery champions, Ezreal and LeBlanc. And I figured, you know what? I want to murder these champions. Right? Fun fact, for a while, Nautilus and Maokai were kind of like the comparison brothers or something like that. They were seen as, when would you want to pick Nautilus and when would you pick Maokai? Nautilus has better shutdown, but Nautilus has better shutdown. Maokai has better pressure on an entire team, I would figure. And Maokai tends to be safer in the jungle than Nautilus. However, Nautilus tends to be the one that deals more damage, even if both of them kind of suck at it at some point. Nonetheless, they're kind of similar in what they do, gank the shit out of people. Nautilus just has more deadly tools, except they're harder to use than Maokai. So it was kind of a fun thing that I fought them. I fought Maokai, and they kind of do look similar. Anyway, once again, just roaming, getting some farm. The lanes aren't easy to gank, even as Nautilus. If mid lane has some CC, then LeBlanc would have been food. Bottom lane, though, is my best bet so far, because I have Blitzcrank, obviously, to help me out. Team pulls and shit. So as soon as Ezreal gets a little too close, and the fun fact is, they know I'm here. They actually had a ward, but he tested me. Like, he didn't think I'd hit the Hulk or even try. But, Ezreal survives while his Nami teammate gets killed. Unfortunately, the kill goes to the Blitzcrank. But yeah, it's like they kind of should not, like, they had a ward there. Like, if I had changed it to show the review, you would have seen the ward. Right there, I put a ward in the bush because it felt like, they're waiting here for Riven to get through and die. Because LeBlanc was in mid lane, so she must have been roaming, and bottom lane was dead, so that's a clear sign that LeBlanc was likely top lane. Here, though, she stayed top lane and killed the Riven, unfortunately. She's still, very adamant about murdering Riven. This was, I think, at the time before she was nerfed, so you still saw a lot of Rivens running around and being jerks. Nonetheless, 7-4, we have the slight lead. Wait, no, I don't even know who has a slight lead. I think they have a slight lead. They have more kills. Anyways, bottom lane, Blitzcrank kills the Nami again. That's not the best thing possible. And there, you saw me miss my Q, and in rage, I flashed, used my ultimate, and Shen comes in. Shit hits the fan, and we pretty much have to run away. I try to kill Ezreal as best I can, but the rest of his team shows up, saves him, and I don't have any damage. I'm Nautilus. So I do my best to run away. Katarina shows up. I actually managed to escape. Wow, I forgot about this. And so does Katarina. Maokai goes a little too deep, trying to kill her, and I pretty much take away more than half his health by CC locking him under the tower. Now they're going off for Dragon. I don't have any combat power right now, so I just might as well secure my blue and escape. Building, obviously, Spirit of the Ancient Golem and building tanky. Now, here's one of the sad facts about Nautilus. He was nerfed when Shirela's Reverie was made limited to junglers. It would have been cool if I could have bought it as a jungler, because it increases the strength of a lot of characters like Maokai, Nautilus, and stuff. But right now, to be honest, Nautilus' itemization is confusing. he doesn't exactly, well, hold on, here's a gank. Go in, pop the ultimate, it hits her, then I pull her in, CC lock her, but sadly she's going to get away, so, yeah. Maokai comes in, I slam him with the anchor again, and, you know, running around and not much. Anyways, I was saying, Nautilus's itemization is a little wonky. There's not anything you really need to build on him. I mean, you can build him tankier, but none of it gets taken to its full advantage or, you know, or used appropriately. Like, you can build him Sunfire Cape, but that's not actually going to be used. Look, I put a ward here, by the way. This is just because I feel like either LeBlanc is going to come here to try to sneak a kill or something. And, Maokai gets caught. I don't think he gets killed, and that he gets... No, I actually grab him back with my hook. He dies. You'll see LeBlanc come through that side of the river soon to try to get a cheese kill on Sivir or Katarina. So you can see LeBlanc coming, and I'm just guessing, you know, at what time she's going to come through. So, cute. There, got her, slam her, whatever. And she intends to fight. I CC lock her, Blitzcrank goes in. Blitzcrank, I believe, silences her. And that makes Karina come back in, finish out the LeBlanc. LeBlanc pretty much wasted all her mana and, you know, already used up all her escape, so she was pretty much an easy kill. Anyways, I was saying on Nautilus. On Nautilus, you'd want to build cooldown reduction, and you'd want to build resistances, I would figure. And I guess some mana, because his mana's pretty terrible. So items like Glacier Shroud and stuff end up being good. However, I do... Also, I just screwed up my Q, I know that. I tend to want to prioritize things like the Iron Solari item, whatever it's called, Locket of the Iron Solari, there we go. Locket of the Iron Solari and stuff like that. Here, by the way, they initiate on me, they pretty much burn half of all their abilities on me, and I'm able to CC lock LeBlanc, and then she gets pulled and destroyed. I'm like, they engaged on the tank, and the CC tank to boot, that they couldn't kill before he, like, locked everybody down, so that was a really bad play from them, and it pretty much cost them. It cost them 4 lives, and with that, well, we actually don't try to attempt Baron because we don't have Sivir and our damage is pitiful. It cost them 4 lives. We got 4 kills into the right people, and the advantages slipped away from them. I mean, you still have a slight gold lead, but if kills went on top of the Katarina, that shit's just bad. However, as you can see, my team got a little overzealous, and good 2 of them got picked off. Nonetheless, I have no fear that the Nautilus pick will help us win. I mean, they have Shen, they have Maokai, they have 2 competent frontliners, and they have someone who can blow the shit up of everybody. However, if LeBlanc or Ezreal approach a team fight incorrectly, they will just get CC locked and outright murdered. If I can get my ultimate onto the Ezreal or onto the LeBlanc and then hook them back, then hopefully the Blitzcrank is able to respond appropriately and we'll be able to destroy them. And I know, speaking this in kind of present tense, and this has already happened, but, you know, it's just for the video, so don't mind. There, LeBlanc almost nukes down Sivir. We should not be fighting this, yet we go on anyways. I catch LeBlanc with my ultimate, which allows Katarina to tear her to pieces, but the rest of my team is falling apart. They're focusing on the wrong target, Maokai, and they're letting Ezreal just ass blast them. Shen comes in, and this pretty much proves to be our downfall. I do my best to run away. You know, I have my flash, but I didn't want to burn it. I don't want to burn it in an attempt to, you know... This is a very, very implausible escape, so they don't want to burn my escape for my flash for no reason. So, go back, and I believe I have the Iron Solari item now. Normally, it's not recommended you build this in solo queue because your teammates are kind of, well, don't work together, and you may not use it to the best, your fullest of intentions or whatever. But on Nautilus, I really don't know what else to build at this point anymore. I would be building Shirelia's first after Spirit of the Ancient Golem to give me better initiation and lockdown and such. Here I catch Ezreal. We'll deal some damage. Katarina goes in and almost kills him. I mean, yeah, she picks up. She manages to get him with a dagger, and then LeBlanc comes in and destroys Katarina. 1-for-1 still makes it worth it. Here comes Riven to try to kill the LeBlanc. LeBlanc just pretty much tricks the shit out of Riven, and she survives. Nonetheless, okay, I lock it out of the Iron Solari is the item I already mentioned I would build on him, and Shireless Rarity was one of the items I would build on him. The other items will probably end up just being health or Abyssal Scepter and everything, but farming up his Nautilus tends to be a bitch, so you don't get it unless you get kills. So... the item you see me getting is I'm pretty sure it's Random Endowments. Of course, a more offensive auras is always a good thing. Nautilus is kind of one of those champions you pretty much only build auras on. You don't like pure items of any sort, like offensive items or a Sunfire Keep and stuff. Just don't get taken full advantage of. And he's already a massive utility pig, so might as well feed him some more utility with auras. But yeah, I really do miss Shurelya's Reverie on Skarner, especially that bastard. Like unless I was super fed. If I was super fed, I'd be buying offensive items on Skarner. If I was, just going even, I'd get Shurelya's Reverie, and my ganking would be godlike, and my initiation would actually exist. But, of course, no, that was probably one of the bigger nerfs to Skarner, just the removal of Shurelya's Reverie for non-supports. So the team fight occurs. They dive straight in the back line, and Maokai gets a very good ultimate. Of course, we kind of end up dragging the team fight away from it so it doesn't become too useful. And despite the fact that we sacrificed Sivir to the Maokai and the rest of their team, we annihilated everybody else. So that trade-off was fine. Fun fact, Sivir was actually upset that we let her die, but come on, 4 kills for one of ours, even if it's the AD carry, I'm pretty sure that's completely worth it. So yes, I am building Randuin's Omen. I would figure that's just to slow them, because it's not the best. It's actually not the best item against the enemy team. They don't have a lot of champions that would be, destroyed by it. It's more just to slow them at this point. And in contrast, probably going Abyssal Scepter would have been a smarter choice, because it would have helped out the Katarina. She didn't build it herself, so me building it could have been a very useful thing. Anyways, obviously, we're going for Baron. I believe I'm able to smite secure it for once. We don't have a Shurelya's Reverie or that, or Blitzcrank going to use it. So, we run around, obviously, headless chickens. We get ourselves an easy blue by pulling it over the wall. We just kind of didn't want to face check into anything or risk being jumped on. Not like they would win. Sorry for that, y'all. Kind of just woke up, and now I'm voicing this, so it is a morning video. Because I didn't, since I was sick a few days ago, I have very little replays to use, so I'm kind of have to be making them on the day. I get caught, but I managed to die with Ezreal Ultimate. I forgot. I thought I lived, but no, I actually died. So that's one Baron wasted. In fact, my team is not really making good use of Baron. We're kind of running around a little ham-handed. Nonetheless, when I respawn, we'd be able to fight them. And especially considering we have a pretty big Katarina who can tear them to pieces in a fight. The Blitzcrank, for whatever reason, initiates on the Maokai, and the rest of my team decides to jump in. It ends up not going well, and it's a 4-man wipe. I do my best to try to stop him from taking the turret, but it's going to fall. I go back, I get my movement speed from home guards, and I try to stop these guys from, tearing us to pieces again. Nonetheless, it's not exactly working out for us. Alright, so go back into the jungle. Go back and take these. So take the blue golem, take my small wolves. This is why I don't have another cooldown reduction item, because I already have blue buff on pretty much lockdown because I have a Katarina. I'll have unlimited mana. I mean, I'll have 40% cooldown reduction and unlimited mana, so I didn't have to build Frozen Heart or any of that stuff. Now I have Randuin's Omen, so maybe this slow will help the initiation and control the fight a little more, because it doesn't seem my team is fighting intelligent fights right so far. The game is pretty much even, and it's going to come down to a fight. Here, we're just poking at each other, and I miss Ezreal barely with my Q. I go in on Maokai just to stab him a little bit, and I try to grab the LeBlanc, or at least the Ezreal. So it's like the Katarina's waiting on the sidelines, and I get engaged on and I die. That was actually a really bad initiation. However, the enemy team engages rather recklessly too, and they burn all their CC and summoner spells and stuff, which means that Katarina is able to tear them to pieces because there's nothing they could have done to stop her. That was honestly very stupid on their part. All in the meantime, Riven is pushing bottom lane, and because of their distraction in top lane and their very, very foolish tower dive, or their very reckless team fight, they get wiped out. Riven takes two towers and 2 inhibitors and die, and then we get Baron. Team fight occurs when we catch the enemy Maokai. And when we catch the enemy Maokai, and we pretty much just wipe them out. Well, Nami dies, and Shen died, and Maokai died, and LeBlanc died at some point there, you know? And that guarantees us the victory. They forgot to save their crowd control for Katarina. I had a terrible engage, and I paid the price as a result, and I was hoping, fuck, we're gonna lose now. But they responded in such a poor manner that Katarina was able to just go in and wipe them out, and after that, Riven was able to take down bottom lane and the inhibitor, and secures the win. Hooray for ridiculous mistakes like that, for recklessness. And hooray for Nautilus. Remember to give a like to this video.